But we should be able to fight something here, maybe. Massive fear. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to another educational video. Today we're going to be playing Vex versus Nunu mid with Smite, which is a pretty interesting concept. We're going to be doing a level 1 invade here because we feel like we're going to get snowballed in on bot side. But because they know that we're here based on this vision, I kind of just want to leave after getting a ward down. But you'll see that they're still committed here, even though the enemy teams knows that we're there. And they have a Nunu with Consume Smite, they have just their standard jungle clear with Shyvana. So it's really awkward level 1 start because this puts us really behind in a lot of our lanes. And I end up missing 3 CS here, so we do manage to survive with our jungle, but like burning triple summer spells as a result of that is really subpar. But when you're playing against champions like Nunu or anything else like Aurelion Sol, where a large amount of their gameplay is based around pushing waves and looking for roam opportunities, this really just comes down to how well you can manipulate the wave in a way that's like beneficial for you and your team. Because as you can see right now, like I feel secure in going forward for these really aggressive trades, and the reason why I'm able to do this is because I understand what skills he has available to him at this given moment. So Nunu is starting W. He's used his W to push the wave in. So does he have any other defensive skills, or does he have any other way to like combat me? Of course not, because I'm ranged versus melee. So it's really important that I push this wave as fast as I can, because he's already on a reset here, and he's actually ganked bottom, so even though he is extremely behind in terms of CS and everything like that, he's still going for these really weird plays, and I have to make sure that he's actually losing something for leaving the lane. So you take a look at mid lane here, and he's lost pretty much 2 waves here to go for the spot lane play. And because they were able to avoid dying there, and it's like really hard for Nunu to get those ganks off into a Thresh Veigar before level 4, I'm just the one coming out on top here. But even then, like, he's still able to smite and consume some camps in the enemy jungle to get back to level 2 and everything like that. But I just really want to make sure that I'm pushing forward in my lane so that I'm applying pressure to make sure that I'm able to move, but also put pressure on him. Because this is considered a tempo play, right? Like, I know that he's heading top right now, so I need to push this wave as fast as I can. And because I'm closer to his tower, with the way that my wave is positioned, it makes it a lot easier for me to get immediate impact here on the Nunu. And he just snowballs back in. Like, grand scheme of things, even though he lost 3 waves, or maybe just 2, he's like still almost even in terms of CS. And this is a cannon wave, I believe, which is going to make it really easy for me to reset, but Nunu does have priority here. And I'm just going to go ahead and unmute my chat so I can tell them that he has prio. But first we're going to go and buy our items. It looks like they get caught out here going for an invade play when I'm on reset, so that's to be expected. I don't really lose anything for leaving, and even if I... And it's really weird too, because in most like matchups where you can reset with a cannon takes 7 tower shots and so forth. So like even if Nunu consumes and smites the cannon, like I'm still going to be able to catch most of this wave. But it still feels really bad when you're in this situation, because it feels really helpless when a lot of the gameplay is just like whether or not Nunu decides to exchange 6 waves to go kill your bot side or your top side. So I'm just trying to convert as much as I can to make sure that I'm not penalizing my team for playing like this. But I still really want to play aggressively here and make sure that I'm applying pressure. Because it may not seem like a lot, but every single time I get a successful trade, he can smite, steal, or consume most of that HP back. But it makes it harder for him to go for all-in plays knowing that there's a chance of being turned around on. And right now we do know that he's going for a top lane dive since he did disappear on top side of the map. And it looks like he's just going to go and die here. Barely survives by consuming a minion, which is unlucky. But Nunu is going to lose another minion wave. And I'm just going to try and take plate here because it is equivalent to 160 gold. The Graves dying is a negative 300. We get 160 back from plate, but we also get a wave worth 105. So opportunity cost wise, we do end up coming out on top. It's just we also have to conclude like what we lost on the top side of the map. So it is a bit of an even trade. It's just at the expense of my Graves, who's put behind level 1 by the invade play. But right now, we hit level 6 first, so that we're going to use this opportunity to look for a roam play. And going for plays like this is really good because we do want to make sure we're taking advantage of this. And this is a really hardcore engage from them, wow. But I'm going to try and get as close as I can before leading with ult, just to tempo it correctly. Really massive 3-man combination here. And we should be able to get the reset. And I think with the fear, we might be able to just tank it under tower if Kai'Sa goes for attack damage here. Oof. That's really demoralizing, honestly. It's okay, it's fine. Like, I'm getting gold onto myself, and I really just need the gold to be able to transition my lead to the rest of the map. Because it's really hard for me right now with, like, the stats that I have to just, like, bully Nunu out. Especially because he's not playing the same game as I am. We do see Nunu top right now, and I don't think he has enough damage to kill him unless he just gets a really nice ultimate, so... I'm just gonna go and opt here to push the lane. Waiting on my EQ. He actually solo kills him. No shot, okay, he actually just gets a double. I think my Graves is like just lit. Like that's really massive because that puts behind Nunu and it puts behind Jace significantly. And fortunately for red team, like they do have Thresh to catch the wave here, so they're not losing too much from Nunu being dead topside. But we're also not really utilizing the pressure from Thresh being mid to do anything bot side. So you see Xin Zhao gravitating forward. We know where the Shyvana is as well. And they're actually... I gave them this opportunity, so it's really, really bad if I accidentally get hit by that hook. But nice sidestep. And pretty decent trade onto the Nunu. Like, lots of damage. Like, this guy's going full AP. And understanding the enemy's itemization is really important because... Actually, hold on. I think he should have just led with the Blast Cone and pushed him into the wall. And then, by that time, I'd have ult back up. But he's definitely out of position. I think we could just kill him here. And you see me tempo slow here, just get as close as I can to guarantee that I land my W fear. And as long as he's forced to walk away, I feel like he doesn't really have an escape route, having used Snowball. So that's a free kill. Unfortunately, Xin Zhao doesn't really get anything from there, but it's still really great for our team that we managed to get that. And once again, our cannon wave. Wave positional power-wise, it is pushing towards us, so it is going to be in a favorable position for myself. Just really unlucky that we end up losing. I guess Graves didn't even have a shutdown after getting like 3 solo kills. I really do want to work towards Rift Herald, because we do have really good skirmish right now. So I would prefer if Xin Zhao just retreated here, and went for Rift into like clearing top to bottom. But Nunu's missing right now. I really need my team to respect. Like, this is such an obvious gank from Nunu here. We have complete vision that he's not in lane for the last 20 seconds, and they're still leading a hook in. And I think that's the most triggering thing about, like, matchups like this where people are putting very heavy emphasis on roams, is that you can do a really good job at communicating and still manage to, like, get punished by your teammates. But as long as you're communicating things effectively, then, in my opinion, at least, like, you performed your responsibility. And then it just lies on your teammates at that point. But without ultimate for the next 37 seconds, it's kind of hard for me to find an opportunity here. But they're actually just triple diving bot side right now. We have full vision of Shyvana, so... This should be just a play into top side with Rift Herald, play opposite side. And as long as they just concede that tower, we are trading equivalently on mid and top side. So them getting away there is really good from our bot lane. They identified that correctly. And I just don't want to get punished here. Really aggressive engage here from Shyvana, but Fear makes quick work of that. If I had ultimate here, I would go for the ult over the wall, but with Jace being here, I also don't really want to do that. I think we actually just kill him with Ignite. Oh, okay, we're fucked. At the moment, yeah, I think it's a bit too aggressive. I think maybe flashing a different direction, or maybe just not going for it at all, especially with my bot lane rotating up. I could have just waited. Really sucks that Nunu manages to get away here, though. Zin's over the wall, though, so maybe we do find both. No, we don't. And then he also concedes on the Thresh. Oof. Actually, it's not that bad. That's a... Okay, we lost Nautilus to tower, so it's a 1 for 2. The reason why I'm going Everfrost this game is because we already have significant damage. And the utility is really useful against most of their melee range champions. So just keeping them in range of my teammates and giving them the ability to do damage, so just like making space, in my opinion, is more valuable. I do think that Ludens is pretty decent this game, and is really good against most of their players. But Everfrost is just more consistent because we are in kind of a dangerous game situation. I feel confident with this item purchase. But I do understand going both odd options here. I think if my team was playing from further behind, I would go Ludens here. But I feel like we're playing decently across the board, so Everfrost probably has more value here. But I really like to do dragons. There's really no reason to collapse here on the top side of the map. There's no objectives here. We know exactly where the enemy team is, so we should just be setting up the dragon. And it sucks that I run out of pings here because I can't beg my teammates to make the correct decision making here. Because at this point, if like we had everyone in position, this dragon's like guaranteed 100%. But instead we're coin flipping because now nobody's in position. And they're getting engaged on here by Nunu, so we're probably doomed. But we should get the dragon here, so maybe we do turn it. I'm not sure if I have enough damage without my mythic, but I'll try. Oh, and he just barely managed to live with the Nunu ult shield. I think hitting Thresh there is pretty much my biggest issue. I think if I landed ult on anybody else, it would have been very, very different. To be fair though, like, we know exactly when dragon spawns, we know exactly where the enemy team is, like, we have the vision, but we're just not playing around it. Because the moment we identify that there's that many people on the top side of the map, it only makes sense to set up like a coverage around dragon and force them to retake. But instead we're contesting them in the middle lane and we're giving them the opportunity to engage. Because we're just not playing around the right side of... oh, I fucking missed cannon, unlucky. But Graves does buy enough time for us. I ping mid here because I want my teammates to help me take this tower. Because if we're going to trade Graves, like Graves is dead there no matter what, we might as well get a tower in exchange. I do have enough to buy Everfrost here, 1165, so it doesn't matter too much to me if I'm not able to get it right now. It looks like this is warded because they can see us in the bush. If you're ever using Sweeper, you gotta understand that the gold is shared equally, so if he lets me kill the ward, we both get the same amount of gold. Or rather, he gets 15, I get 30, whereas if he clears the ward, he just gets 30. So it's overall more cost efficient for me to take the ward kill there. Share the money. But we're in a pretty decent spot right now. Like, Nunu's 6-3 and 5. I don't really feel like he's been playing well, but he has definitely impacted the map, and he's given his teammates a lot of gold. But this is kind of where Vex starts to shine, is on around the 1 to 2 item mark. Because there's a lot more gameplay making potential for me. It was hard for me at the start because I wasn't really laning against anybody, and I also couldn't really crash the wave and look for skirmishes with my teammates playing from behind. But now it's really just about making sure that we're capitalizing on our team fight abilities. Like, we have really good engage with Nautilus, Vex. So once we start pushing our vision into the enemy jungle and finding pick opportunities, I feel like this game's going to go extremely well for us. But we do have to wait for Graves on the map because he's dead for the next 15 seconds. If we play on the map right now with 1 top, 2 mid, 1 bottom, it's fairly likely that we get punished. And unfortunately this ward spots me out, otherwise I would go for the Jace here. And he's still completely out of position here, so I'm going to look for an ultimate. And we do get flash, which is really good because I'm trading a 90-second cooldown or a 5-minute cooldown. So being afraid to use your ultimate or other things because you want to make sure it lands is, I think, acceptable in most case scenarios. But it's also really good to use your ultimate for plays like this where you're creating opportunities in the next 5 minutes. Because a lot of times people will hold on to their ultimate in lane phase because they know they can't kill somebody. But by holding on to it, you're never actually creating that opportunity for ganks or anything else. Because you can burn flashes, you can burn summer spells like TP. If you do want to like create kill pressure, it's really important that you're poking people down and then looking for that ult opportunity. But just using it as a tool to create opportunities for the next 5 minutes is also a really good aspect to remember. It's significantly harder though, because in early levels, your cooldown's pretty much 2 minutes instead of 90 seconds. It's like 130 level 1, so I get it if you feel afraid to do that and want to save it for like skirmishes. It just really depends on like the game context. And there's really not much for me to do right now besides just get free XP in the side lane. We're kind of just waiting for the dragon, waiting for item spikes. I think I'm going to buy Rod here, just for the straight raw damage. Because with my AP ratios, like buying a rod here gives me pretty much an extra 120, 150 damage on my combo. And that is pretty significant because that's every single combo. And it's really important that I'm as strong as I possibly can be, because this dragon is going to be a very pivotal part of our game plan, because we are setting up a play around it. But I'm going to hover my Graves here. And I think this guy's AFK, I actually can't tell. And then Nunu was in the bush the whole time, holy shit. If I played my ultimate slower, I wouldn't have had the flash. So that's pretty unlucky. Or not so unlucky, but more just playing poorly. And with Graves TPing top and having 2 already committed to being dead, I'm just going to go and path bot side here. Fortunately, I don't get there in time for the gold from Ripchild Slam. But my team definitely doesn't need me on Dragon right now, so it's just better for me to apply pressure bot side. And Graves managed to get another solo kill top side, which is nuts. Unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to grab another item spike here. And it's really just about looking for opportunities to skirmish at this point. We were pretty ahead now, we're 4-2 too. We have really, really close to shadowflame. Next objective on the map would be Baron. Outside of that, the objectives that we could consider are tier 2 towers. But it looks like we're setting up a play in the top side jungle, so I kind of just want to push out top and then hover in the area. We know that Veigar's currently bottom, but with Graves currently bot side as well, we're missing a lot of our damage. But we should be able to fight something here, maybe. Massive fear. Okay. Honestly, I think if we got the reset on Jace, we might have been able to turn that back around again. But that was a really, really sick fucking... You guys saw that, right? That was like a 4-man W. Oh, fuck. Alright, that's a free flash right there. So we get a 4-man fear, and then we get the Everfrost on bat. All of them were just like... They're all just held in. Holy shit, I can't believe that didn't kill me. But... And then we get the fear on Nunu to escape, and then we also get the fear on Veigar Flash. But that's Shadowflame right there. We didn't actually win that fight, but we did get a lot of resources. And the reason why it's important to notice is because we do have the next objective coming up, which is Baron. And does he actually get away here? No fucking way, he just kills everybody. Honestly, I think he could have just gone back in and killed Jace and the Thresh too. Is that Maw? Just like Maw being completely broken? The guy takes like 0 damage while having 3 billion armor. I think they just kill everybody again. I don't know why Thresh is there, honestly. We should just do Baron off this. Or does he actually get away? You know, he dies here. It's hard for him to move forward right now. We have 3 people on the bot side of the map, but looks like Shyvana's out of position. Pretty nice ultimate, actually. Almost missed my entire combo into a wall for no reason, but I'm waiting on my ear here. Okay, wow, I think I'm just dead. Yikes. I keep forgetting it's full AP Nunu. Like, if I don't have Fear or Wave CCing, I really don't have an option. But now that I have a stopwatch, makes it pretty easy for me to avoid that scenario in the future. But this should be a free Baron. They could just hold on and wait until I'm alive to give me the Baron buff here. I think they don't have enough damage to get it done anyways, but the next dragon is where this all comes down. Because if they contest dragon, we basically insta-win the game, because we can take that team fight skirmish and then transition it into an inhibitor, especially with having Baron and everything. But the first thing we need to do is just reset, get everyone back on the map, and push out our lanes. But it's really good to play through mid and other areas of the map when you're playing around central objectives, because it allows you to get the most control vision-wise. Really interesting TP from Graves, though. And I have ult in 2 seconds, so I might be able to back him up here. I don't know where Jace is 100%. Okay, nice, that's free engage. Lackluster Everfrost, though. I think I should have focused the Nunu over the Thresh there. Better if I tempo my Everfrost slower, like I don't need to use it immediately, then I can just pick my target easier instead of trying to hit both at the same time. And that's typically what happens when you try to do too much with your combinations. is that instead of getting the guaranteed or confirmed kill, you end up just messing up both, trying to get too much. I feel like that happens a lot when you're playing champions like Vex. You just split your damage. You should just focus on killing one person and like resetting that way. But unfortunately for them, they fought before dragon spawned. And them giving us an opportunity to even team fight is like incorrect, because it gives us the chance to just play through inhibitors. And at this point they are missing one, and we do have pretty decent gauge of Nidalee, so we should be able to end it here. And really nice pick onto the Veigar, but he's taking so much damage from towers here. Is he dead? No, he's got the shield. Okay, nice. And fortunately, I think that this should be GG. I think that this was a pretty decent game of League of Legends, all things considered. We struggled a lot with the early game because we weren't really able to play around Nunu playing the game incorrectly. But we were able to recover through some nice utilization of wave, and thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe to show support for my channel.